भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार। जय गुरु राय योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार। जय गुरु राय योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार। जय गुरु राया योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार। जय गुरु राया राम 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 योगीनाथ रकुमार योगीनाथ रकुमार योगीनाथ रकुमार जय गुरु राय योगीनाथ रकुमार योगीनाथ रकुमार योगीनाथ रकुमार जय गुरु राय राम 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 योगीनाथ रकुमार योगीनाथ रकुमार योगीनाथ रकुमार जय गुरु राय योगीनाथ रकुमार योगीनाथ रकुमार योगीनाथ रकुमार जय गुरु राय राम 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 योगीनाथ रकुमार योगीनाथ रकुमार योगीनाथ रकुमार जय गुरु राय योगीनाथ रकुमार योगीनाथ रकुमार योगीनाथ रकुमार जय गुरु राय राम 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 Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama 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 Ram, Rama Rama Ram. Yogi Ram Kumar, Yogi Ram Kumar, Yogi Radha Kumar, Yogi Radha योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार जय गुरुराय योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार जय गुरुराय राम 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 योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार जय गुरुराय योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार जय गुरुराय योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार जय गुरुराय योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार राम 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 योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार जय गुरुराय कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार जय गुरुराय राम 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 योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार जय गुरुराय योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार जय गुरुराय योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार राम 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 योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार योगीनाथ कुमार जय गुरुराय योगीनाथ कुमार भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी राम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु। A very special grace that we have all been able to gather here and sing His powerful name in this beautiful shrine in celebration of this grace and in deep gratitude. We have offered this Nama Sankirtan as Nama lotuses
at his lotus feet. Just think, millions of people out there did not get this chance that we have all got. It is some special meritorious deeds of the past Janma that we have been able to land at the holy feet of a great Mahatma and enjoy this peace and his grace. Now that we are in the evening of the day, we shall continue to offer the Nama lotuses, not only the Nama lotuses, but also the Seva lotuses at his lotus feet. Every work that falls into our hand by the divine will can be made into puja. And so, in the spirit of surrender to the divinity that is our Bhagavan, we can now offer every action as action lotus, the Seva lotus at his feet. It's so easy to pluck a flower from a plant or a tree and put it at his feet, saying that we have done puja. The tree and the plant will go into a lot of trouble to create one flower, a beautiful, fragrant flower. And all that we do is pluck it and put it at the feet of Bhagavan, saying that we are offering puja. But just imagine every nama that you utter and every action that you do in the spirit of service to our Gurudev. How much more powerful this puja should be. Sometime back, a few days back, I hope you remember one of the stories that I narrated. There was somebody who complained about life around. He thought he was a very good person himself, but that he was falling into bad company and bad environment, which affected him so much that he lost his peace of mind, and he went to a great soul in the nearby forest and complained that it was the bad company, it's a world that was doing havoc to his being. The Mahatma smiled. He took him for a walk. Come, my friend, we shall go. And they went through the land nearby that belonged to some ashram. And there they saw in the garden people putting fertilizers at the roots of the trees and the plants. And what was more, those fertilizers smelled so bad. It was stinking. But still, those people bore with it and dropped those fertilizers. Now this man who was complaining, he could not bear the stink. He frowned, and then he expressed his displeasure at this foul smell that was coming from the fertilizers. Now the Mahatma only smiled. He said, let's go further. And they walked. And they came to a particular part of the garden, and they saw beautiful, beautiful, fragrant flowers of different colors and different sizes and shapes. Now this man was filled with such joy and delight. He exclaimed, "Oh, how beautiful!" in contrast to the foul-smelling region that we walked just a little before. This place full of such beautiful fragrance. Now again the Mahatma smiled. Now this man began to think, what is this? For every comment that I make, this man is only smiling. He probably doesn't understand my complaint at all. And he is probably diverting me. And then the Mahatma looked him straight in the eyes and said, my friend, minutes before we crossed a land where it was stinking fertilizers. And you saw how those plants and trees made use of those stinking fertilizers and how in turn they are giving fragrant flowers. Just see the sacrifice that is in the nature. Every plant, every tree took that stinking fertilizer, absorbed it, and made it into such beautiful, fragrant flowers. Here, what do? God has given you so many blessings, and still you're only complaining about the negativities of life. If a plant can convert those stinking fertilizers into fragrant flowers by its laboring, can you not change the environment of bad company into good company? By your own goodwill and goodness. Why should you complain? You see it all around in nature. They are giving their best. And what do? We are giving them the worst. And they absorb that without complaint and give us only the best in return. What a beautiful story, and how effectively it makes the point. Now, this is important, not to complain, but think of all the blessings that we already possess by the grace of God. Our body is like the chariot. The charioteer is the divine indweller in all of us. The divine indweller has put the breath in this body, and through the breath, he controls the movement of this body. Just as a charioteer controls the chariot. Now let's go back to Mahabharata war. Krishna was the charioteer, and he was driving the chariot of Arjuna, a very valorous king, very famous for his skills in archery. Now, after the Mahabharata war was over, it was the custom in the country that all those chariots that participated in the war successfully would be lined up. And then, as the custom demanded, the charioteer would get down first and kneel down, and then the king who was occupying the chariot would get down, and then this charioteer would garland the king and then shout, Jai Jai, Jaikar. He will say victory, glory to the king who successfully fought with the enemies with the help of the chariot and the charioteer. So this was the custom. So all the 5 Pandavas, right from Dharmaputra up to Nakula, Sakadev, They were all lined up in their chariots. Now first it started with Dharmaputra. Dharmaputra's charioteer jumped down, knelt, and then got up. As Dharmaputra got down from the chariot, the charioteer garlanded Dharmaputra and shouted Jaikar, victory, glory to the king Dharmaputra. And then the next was the turn of Bhima. Bhima's chariot was there. The charioteer got down in a jump and knelt before Bhima, who got down after him. And then the charioteer garlanded Bhima and shouted, glory to Bhima, victory to Bhima. Now the third chariot was Arjuna's. And here Arjuna was imagining that Krishna would get down first like every other charioteer and knelt down, and then Krishna would garland Arjuna and shout Jaikar, glory to Arjuna, victory to Arjuna, that he would be honored by Krishna. But what happened was something else. Krishna smiled and said, Arjuna, you get down first. I will get down after you. You can imagine what a shock it should be to Arjuna. Here he was imagining all the while that Krishna was his own charioteer only. It was he who fought the enemies and gained victory. So he was a little proud. There was a trace of this arrogance. But Krishna played a drama there, a leader. He commanded Arjuna to get down. Arjuna had no other go but obey. And he got down. And then Krishna jumped. The charioteer Krishna jumped last. Just when he was jumping down, the chariot also had a flag of Hanuman. Just as Krishna jumped down from the chariot, the flag of Hanuman also disappeared. And then what happened? To the shock of everybody around, the whole chariot went into flames. It got burnt up completely. And then Krishna smiled and looked at Arjuna and said, Arjuna, I know what you are thinking, that I am not honoring you just as every other charioteer did to the king. But do you know something? All those arrows which carried the poison of harm, they were all targeted at the chariot. Your chariot must have burned right in the beginning itself. Such was the attack of poisonous arrows from your enemies. It was I, as a charioteer, bore all that. And I kept them under control so that they would not harm you. Not only me, Hanumanji up there in the flag was also protecting you. The two of us were protecting you, and that's why you were safe. And you could fight till the end and be victorious. Had I got down first from the chariot like everyone else, you would have been burnt down along with the chariot. You wouldn't be alive now. Now Arjuna understood that it was not his victory, it was the victory of the divine, Krishna. Now just think for a moment, this is exactly what is happening to us. There are attacks of several kinds from the world to us. We are attacked physically sometimes, mentally and spiritually by different forces of the world, in different situations by different people and environment. Now it's the divine, the indwelling Krishna, the Chaitanya within all of us. Especially when we chant the name and remember God, then it is He who protects us, our body, our mind, our spirit, from all the attacks of the environment. We do not know it. What do? We keep complaining. We keep grumbling about things that we don't get. We do not know the major protection is coming from our Bhagwan. That had we not remembered Bhagwan, if we do not chant His name, things could have been very, very different for us. Life could have been very, very difficult for us. No idea how much suffering and hardship that we would have all gone through. The protector, the Nami of the Nama that we all chant, is indwelling. And it is He who protects the chariot of our body, our mind, our intellect, so that we have only to go through minimum suffering in life. But even that minimum suffering we are unable to bear. And we scream and grumble and blame God for all ills of life. Just as Arjuna realized how he had been protected all along by the divine charioteer. Let's remember the Nami of the Nama that we all chant. He is the divine charioteer who is running the chariot of our being, along with the body, mind, intellect, and the ego. The whole unit is being run by the indweller, Nami. And so we have been protected from so many vicious, harmful attacks from outside. Since it's happening without noise, without any advertisement, we do not know many times that what we have been saved from. So let us all learn to be grateful to God for the life that He has given, for all the blessings He has given to us already, and celebrate them with gratitude. Then we will invite more and more grace and more transformation, both inside and outside. We shall now offer our today's prayer at the feet of Bhagwan. Bhagwan, we beg you again and again, a million times. But that's all we can do, this begging, for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy to today's world of violence. How many attacks that we have been seeing, the violent attacks all over the world. Incident after incident. The violence that's ruling is alarming, is sickening. We beg you, Bhagwan, you are the cosmic controller, to bring in peace, unity, discipline, and control and harmony into the lives of people, so that people would live a dharmic life with remembrance of God. Otherwise, people would live any way they like and create a philosophy to suit themselves, to justify whatever they are doing. We also beg you to stop those violent wars that have been going on for quite some time now, with their disastrous results. Please bring in peace and unity. And we also beg you, Bhagwan, a million times to bless the whole world, all the countries of the world, so that there would be no thought of war at all in the minds of diseases and violent furies of nature and those devastating accidents. Above all, we beg you to uproot all the negativities of the human mind, those asuric, rakshasic thoughts, which are responsible for the violence of today's world. Whichever country people belong to, whatever religion they have adopted, every one of us have to go through the relentless law of karma. All of us have to take up the punishment for our past bad karmas, and we will get trapped in that suffering, and that without help or protection. For the law of karma is divine justice. It cannot be bought with money or power. And it doesn't spare even the divine incarnations, the avatars. Rama and Krishna had to pay back for their own killings of those asuras. They did atonement. But then we all have an opening out of this predicament. And what is it? The causeless grace of the divine. Let's appeal to the compassion and generosity of the divine, our Bhagwan, to reach out to all those people all over the world who have been suffering from some adversity or the other, and that without help or protection. We also pray to you, Bhagwan, to protect all those unselfish people who have been working hard for the welfare of the others. From what? From unnecessary, unworthy remarks of criticism and aspersion. We beg you again to promote the economy of the country and the growth in varied fields of activity, so that India would reach that high status of Vishwaguru, the world teacher, to conduct the whole world in the path of Dharma. We also pray to you, Bhagwan, in all earnestness for ceaseless and joyful chanting of your powerful name and unbroken remembrance of your leelas and teachings, so that we assimilate it and make it into our Atma Shakti. Please bless us to be only sattvic instruments in your hands and not rakshasic. Please bless our everyday life so that we run it as an offering to you and not be caught by the temptations of Maya. We also pray to you for that ultimate state of being, the state of bliss and peace, the state of pure awareness of yours. But then we know that our minds have to be purified. Right now it's full of the residual latent tendencies of the past karmas and worldly desires. So what happens? The mind gets swayed by all negative emotions. There are sudden attacks of vicious fear, vicious, poisonous anger, and of course, fiery words of abuse, jealousy, vengeance, passion, and of course, sorrow. As we saw in the story, one of the stories, how the nature takes that foul-smelling fertilizer and converts it into beautiful and fragrant flowers. What a great lot of sacrifice it does in the process, and all that silently, like the Mahatmas. They do exactly that. They take our own sins upon themselves and they pay for it by their suffering and give us spiritual transformation in return. And so, we beg you, Bhagavan, that these vasanas, you have said the divine name is a very powerful weapon which can destroy all the sins of the past and prevent us from further sins. And it will also destroy the vasanas of the mind and purify. We take refuge in your powerful name and seek our early purification. And wherever we live in this world, whatever work we do, we know it's all your work. You have said, Father alone exists. There is nothing else, no one else. So whatever exists is only yours. And you. Please bless us to be able to do it in the spirit of service to you, and that joyfully, without any unhealthy competition or jealousy, so that every action of ours would turn into Atma Shakti. Please bless us to practice acceptance of whatever life brings to us, be it a joy or grief. It's coming from you by your will, and it's coming based upon our karmic account. But then you are in it, your will is in it, and therefore whatever comes out of you can only be a great blessing meant for our spiritual growth, our closer relationship with you. So please bless us all to look upon every adversity, every grief as a definite blessing from you for our transformation. And when we do so, we would see how every adversity finally ends up in higher wisdom. And as the higher wisdom takes root in the heart, it gets more and more purified, and God's power begins to reflect there. We beg you, Bhagavan, to bless us all, to be grateful to you all the time. I remember Bhagavan saying sometimes, this beggar would do 99 great things for the devotees, and then they would celebrate, oh, this beggar is God. He is doing so much for us. And then one time, Father would fail this beggar. It's not that Father did not hear this beggar's prayer, but this cosmos, the very structure of the cosmos is such that everything is linked with everything else. So when we try to do some work against fate, so many other things get disturbed, and it takes a while to settle them. So sometimes it takes a lot of time. People have to wait for a certain result, and sometimes it doesn't happen at all. But every time it proves to be only a great blessing, because it transforms us, it pushes us towards God. So we beg you to bless us all to be grateful to you, even for the adversities of life. We seek your powerful blessings for all the species of the cosmos to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we who have been seeking only solutions endlessly for the problems of life, seek now dissolution of the root cause of the vicious cycle of births and deaths. And what is it? The ahambhava, the utter selfishness of the individual, the I and mine that rule all our lives. We beg you, Bhagavan, to uproot this ahambhava and promote Atma Bhavam, so that we all be blessed with that immortal life, that eternal living in eternal you, in merger with you, or eternal servitude in surrender to you, you, that eternal supreme divinity. Jai Aviram Sadguru.